Hi everyone, welcome to TV Talk with Natasha and Kimberly. I am Kimberly, that is Natasha. Say what's up, Natasha?
What up?
And today we are going to review for you several series actually. Now I know we promised that we would do Legend of Korra, but it took a week off because of the 4th of July. Yay, America! So that will come back next week on the show, but we are going to talk about Teen Wolf, Falling Skies, and True Blood.
Can we just get True Blood over with?
Yeah, sure. Go right ahead.
I'm a little upset. Alcide is dead. I know that they're gonna kill people off, but it was still a little bit of a shocker. I don't know. I guess I was hoping he would last a little bit longer. I don't know. And I'm ticked because he at least died on screen. Guess who didn't die on screen? Tara. Darn it.
Yeah, I stopped caring after that. I was like, this is how it's going to play out. So everybody's going to die, so nothing shocks me now. I take that back. It would shock me if Suki died, in the first
that would be
couple
such
episodes.
A shocker, and it would probably be a relief at this point. It's because of her that he's dead. She didn't even let the man know what she was doing. She was like, oh, we'll bring him in later. I think the plan was to get captured by the Hempy Vamps, and Bill was going to use their link or whatever, their blood link, to find her and get everyone else involved to find her. And I'm like, no. And it didn't quite work out that way, did it?
Well, that's because they were interrupted.
Bill was in the tree. They caught Bill, so he wasn't really able to do much. So how are they going to be able to help if he was by himself? He couldn't take those Hempy Vamps by himself. Really?
I from what I could tell, the point was for them to take her back to the lair so she could find the other people, not actually confront them right then and there.
Well, yeah, like I said, I think that was the plan. It just didn't work out that way, and she should have known that. I mean, let's be for real. I mean, Suki keeps on getting into these situations, and then people get killed because of it. Now, granted, the townspeople just went ape. I mean, you take Sam, y'all frequent his restaurant, every day. This situation pops up, and now all of a sudden y'all want to be like, oh, he's a shapeshifter, he's evil, so let's get rid of him? Really? Did he not? He didn't murder anybody.
Yeah, I'm sure they just feel lied to, though. I mean, can you
blame him? If this was the reaction, no wonder he kept hitting all these years. I mean, for real?
He was a politician, and he was running. I mean, it's kind of like, I don't understand why he thought that he could hide that, and if it ever came out, how it wouldn't destroy things. I don't know. I mean, I can see why he did it, but you're trying to run for mayor, and you want the people to trust you, and the only way to do that is to be honest up front, which he wasn't, so it's kind of backfired now.
Well, I mean, how was he supposed to know that the whole Hempy situation was going to occur when it did? I mean, let's be for real. I mean, he tried to do the best that he could. His poor vamp, his poor companion vamp got killed, and Jessica got shot, and she's not healing. What's up with that? Is she sick now? Does she have the disease?
I doubt it. It's probably what they used in the gun.
Oh, okay. I didn't even think about that. But Violet calls Jason a girl. I thought that was a little bit interesting. And for some odd reason, she had issues with Jessica. I'm like, Jessica's over it. Why do you feel threatened? But considering how James is all up in Lafayette's grill, maybe Violet should be worried. I don't know.
I think she's just overprotective and very territorial. I mean, she seems like
that's part of it. Yeah, that's part of it too. But I mean, for real. And plus, I guess they had issues when they were in prison, like the vamp camp. which didn't help matters. But at the same time, it's like, okay, they're over. So she's moved on with James, so there's really nothing to worry about on that front, at least for right now. Let's face it, Lafayette and James were the best part about that episode. I was bored in some parts, I'm not going to lie. Lafayette was playing old school music, which is always fun. They had like a little drug session where they were, comparing their drug experiences, and Lafayette compares or combines some pills to get a little bit of a high, and they're just rolling, listening to the music, they're all up in the music, and Lafayette's like, well, I think you feeling me, but James like, yeah, I'm kind of feeling you, but I'm with Jessica, so he had to bounce. But they were like the best part of the episode.
Well, what about, I don't know, Eric and
oh yeah, Eric, his flashback made so much more sense than Bill's. Like, it was just a waste of space.
Bill's was a waste of space, or Eric's?
Bill's.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, we needed a sex scene. It might as well have been with Eric as a flashback. I mean, he was young. He was talking French. That was so sexy. And Sylvie, I felt really bad. Okay, people are getting killed naked, guys. This is not right. Sylvie wound up getting stabbed naked from way back in the day, and now Alcee got shot naked. He was naked. Come on. Really?
Yeah, so the people that shot Eric's girl, it's the time period throws me off.
It said it was the 80s, wasn't it?
Well, that would explain the hair.
And yeah, they were in France, so he was staying at a vineyard, and he hooked up with the daughter of the owner of the vineyard, and apparently she wanted to go to school, or she was in school, and I think he cared for her. I think if he wasn't put in that position, like, he would have preferred that they both got out of it alive. And it reminded me a lot about Arrow, what happened with Arrow, like Oliver being forced to choose between Shay and Black Canary, or Sarah, sorry, and then later on between his mom and, was it Laura?
No, his sister.
It was his, okay, Thea. So his mother and his sister. I mean, really? So yeah, I felt bad for Sylvie. I was kind of hoping that he would have turned her, but it was kind of late for that because the company was not having it. And Eric's flashback made more sense because it introduced the Japanese company. I think it's Yakumoto.
That created True Blood?
Yeah, the same company that created True Blood. So Yakunuma Corp. And we got to see Flanagan again, because we haven't seen her since, like, what, season 5, I think, when they had that whole authority fiasco. Lord have mercy. Yeah. So yeah, Eric's flashback made more sense because and we saw Sarah Newland. She can't stay dead. Well, Jason let her live, but it was just interesting where she turned up a yoga retreat or something, and she was like hooking up with the yoga instructor or the yoga leader, and she seemed to be enjoying herself. And then of course the Yakunuma Corp, find her, and Eric didn't really have much motivation until Pam mentioned that Sarah was alive. But there is a reason I would think that the Yakunuma Corporation will want a piece of Sarah, just because of what happened with the True Blood. That was not its intended purpose. The intended purpose was to let vamps drink, a synthecated, blood without having really to resort in killing humans, and you've taken that away. In fact, you're killing off a species when that wasn't really necessary. So...
Yeah. Well, it's their money, so obviously they're introducing this as the big bad for the season.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting.
And Sookie and Bill had like a weird conversation about Six Flags. I was like, what? Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Falling Skies?
Yeah, let's do Falling Skies. That was a good episode, guys. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Now every time I see Lourdes, I want to slap her just because I want her to be like, snap out of it, snap out of it. But
Yeah. I mean,
but
her reaction when it was revealed that Lexi was talking to an overlord, a potential enemy, and you have no reaction to it whatsoever.
mhm.
Like, is she that all up in Lexi's grill that she's like,
Yep.
oh my gosh.
And I don't like it because she's
yeah.
like kind of like a drone, and I don't like it. Um,
Yeah.
but Pope rose to the occasion. I'll give him that.
Yes. Yay!
He um he made it a point to show that he could be trusted. So I think that was really good, and he did rise to the occasion. I was a little worried there because he had a hard time.
Yes, he did. I mean, what was it, the Farah? Oh, Lord. They called it, I have it in my notes. It was like the Faraday
Suit, yeah,
suit
Faraday.
or something. Yes,
That's
the Faraday suit.
based on the scientist Faraday.
Yeah, his name is Dingon, by the way, and Pope called him Dingo, but that's neither here nor there. I did like how Tom kind of used all these different materials to lay out the city. I thought that was cool. It looked really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, when did they have time to really do that? But I digress. And Hal really stepped up too, with his portion of the escape and trying to lead the people out through the sewers, or keeping them protected. And it's kind of like, I wish that what they had done was, if you're planning on trying to sneak folk, into like the sewer section of the ghetto, then maybe like the night before, like in between the skitter, patrols or something, take care of the old folk first, and then the rest of the younger folk can run, versus an old couple that's last and winds up bringing the skitters into the hideout. Like, for real.
Yeah. It was kind of painful to watch. I'm like, oh,
it was. I was like, really? As soon as you saw the old couple, you were like, oh, Lord.
I know, but we need to be patient because we're all going to be that age at some point.
We are, but that's what I'm saying. I wish that what had happened was they had taken care of the old folk first, because they are not fast. They're not able to move quickly to remain undetected. So it would have made more sense. But I guess they didn't really think about that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like that was painful to watch.
It was.
So I like how Anne just kind of, you saw that she was like human, like she's like, I don't need no stinking water, and she just kept going, and then she was like,
yeah, and then she collapsed. Yeah. And Anthony stepped up because he knew he was pretty much second in command. And shout out to, I don't want to butcher his name, Fo Kuaho, who tweeted at us during the Fallen Skies East Coast showing. Shout out to him. He plays Anthony. Love him on the show, and I wish he was at Comic-Con. I have not seen him at Comic-Con so far. He needs to go.
I think Doug Jones tweeted you too, or retweeted.
Yeah, Doug Jones, aka Coach Cheese. He actually revealed that he was going to make a little appearance at the end of the episode, and he did. He was retconning to rescue Matt. Woo woo.
Yes, I'm excited to see that next week, to see how that turns out.
And I'm mad at Mira. Mira needs to go.
Yeah.
Matt, I'm sorry. I just wish he had a better girlfriend.
Why did she lie?
No. Why? Matt told her the plan. Let's graduate. We'll be able to roll out on our own without being a mindless drone and warn other people about what's happening here. So all you had to have was just a little bit of patience. Considering how Matt has been there for as long as he has, I'm sure he is missing his family like terrible. And he's able to like push through it. So Mira, You done messed up because now you're probably going to screw yourself even more that Matt had to take the bat for you. Really?
Well, and she lied to his face. He asked her point blank if she took those, whatever they were, pliers or tweezers, whatever, and she said no. He
At
asked
least
because
it
she was
would have
talking
been,
about,
yeah, at least he could have at least put it back, and then that would have been the end of it. But no, she even puts it on an empty bed. Really? Really? Matt told her they check everything. Why would you take that chance? Why? She was like, I know myself. Well, you need to get over yourself. You need to change. Adapt. Yeah, you need to do that. And I
survival
don't
is
know
better.
how much longer they would have had in that academy anyway. It didn't seem like they were going to be in there for long. And Sheila is such a teacher's pet, and also her poor parents. Like, I think the dad was really trying to blend in, which is what Mira should have done, but her mom kind of was like, well, why are you doing this? Why did you do this? So yeah, they're gonna need to get worked on. But yeah, the Ishveni, they're not playing. And Tom's not playing either. Like, shout out to Tom, aka Noah Wiley. Like, the Overlord should know by now. You've tried to recruit Tom, he says no. When you're meeting with him, just be in some kind of fire resistant, stab resistant kind of armor or something. How many Overlords has Tom like kind of killed already? I think 2.
Yeah, although I don't know if this guy died. He certainly got burned up. Something
Yeah,
fierce.
he got. That's what I'm saying. Tom doesn't play. Yeah, you had a conversation with him, but that was in your ship. Of course and that was like to get information. If he had a chance to kill you on that ship, he would have taken it. Mm-mm.
Yeah, that was kind of brutal. He set a lot of them on fire. This
Uh,
episode.
yeah. And yeah, he killed a lot of Skitters too. And we definitely know, at least from the last episode and this episode, that, the Rebellion Skitters are pretty much no more, which is a shame because I kind of like that dynamic that there were at least Rebel Skitters around that was kind of helping the humans. But they're now mindless drones in the form of Black Hornets. So it's really unfortunate.
And so we got a shock too. We found out, the father of Lexi.
Now, Anne was pregnant. She was showing. So I don't know if the Overlord was imprinting the DNA then, or did it happen before then? I mean, because Tom had, the little worms in his head, and him and Anne hooked up, and she got pregnant. So I don't know if it was a combination of those things that makes Lexi more alien or not. But it's like, well, dang, is anything of Tom left in her?
I hope so. I mean,
I would hope so.
She looks like Tom. Well, she could be related to Tom. I mean, her hair is freaking white, and she's got really light eyes.
But Tom's hair is dark.
Yeah, but so Ben, look at Ben. I mean,
true. But Ben has like darker, light hair.
oh, I mean, that hair doesn't grow in real life, but because nobody has that hair color in real life unless they're like 70. So, I mean, it's abnormal, but I mean, she looks more like Tom's side than I would say Anne's.
She recognized her though.
She did recognize her, which was, I'd have been like,
Who are you?
Yeah, did I actually see you come out? I don't know. No, it was just kind of weird, but she did recognize her. She felt her, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, she just had the dream, and she was like, I know where she at. Let's roll. And what a way to revive yourself, by remembering that an Overlord tried to imprint themselves on your baby. Wow. Yep, yeah. That's one way to wake up.
It's just sad. I don't know. I don't like that. I'm interested to see how Anne is going to handle the way Lexi is now and all that stuff going on and what she's going to
Well,
say.
considering the previews that we seem to be seeing for next week, Lexi ain't having it. In fact, and Anne's like, what are you doing? And Lexi has her little tantrum, it looks like, and she's like, you're going to listen to me. And what kind of education has she gotten so far when she's like teaching a class? Is it like philosophical? What's happening?
Books, remember she read all
Yeah.
those books?
Okay, were there no teachers in that group? I mean, Tom was spouting out a history lesson to Dingon. I mean, really? We need Tom to be teaching classes.
Yeah, we need them to be reunited.
Yes, but at least part of the group is now reunited. Denny is reunited with Ben, but he's still probably going to hook up with Maggie. Oh, I'm just dreading it. And thank goodness Maggie, I feel like she's herself again. She has her guns, her nice-looking guns, mind you. And I think you tweeted, Kim, like, why doesn't Ben have a gun?
Yeah, she kept both for herself, so I was like, well, that's greedy, but whatever.
Well, those are her two guns. Those are her babies. And I like how Ben was actually trying to give Lexi the benefit of a doubt because, let's face it, Ben is was in a similar situation way back, like in season 2 after he got rescued and the harness got taken off. People were very suspicious of him and his motives, even though the harness was taken off. And he, hooked up with the rebel skitters because he felt like there were at least some of them that he could get behind instead of just killing them. Does that make sense? So with him overhearing or, seeing Lexi with an overlord, there has to be some kind of an explanation. And she does explain it in a way that makes sense, but at the same time, you're young, you're naive, and the overlord's just using you.
Exactly.
It's like she's like at war with herself. It's like she has a human side and then she has an alien side. Which one is winning? So far, I think the alien part is winning.
We will find out over the season, I tell you. But yeah, it's hard to tell her motives yet because she's not all there. I mean, she's very childlike in some aspects. So.
And I do think that the actress that's playing her is definitely bringing that out because even though she acts mature, in a lot of ways, she's acting like a kid. She's still a kid. At least she's supposed to be mentally or even physically, but she's not. She's like this young woman acting old when really she's not.
Absolutely. So, well, let's move on to Teen Wolf because a lot of stuff happened on Teen Wolf.
Oh Lord.
A lot of stuff happened on Teen Wolf.
Can I just say that I'm still concerned about Willow the cat. I do hope that the cat did survive, that the mean serial killer did not take it out, that Sean escaped on the cat, and she finds a home. Because the poor baby just went through something traumatizing. She saw her family get murdered.
Yeah, that was a really interesting take, because what you end up with at the end of the story is not what you think is happening in the beginning.
Exactly.
So, and then we have a new character introduced who plays and is a freshman.
Liam.
I think it's interesting that they want to introduce a character that is like a freshman so they can get more time out of him because I don't know what they're going to do when these graduate.
Aren't they seniors?
Mm-hmm.
And Malia, I think, is still at least a few years younger, so I mean she's still gonna have to stay in school. And I'm still glad that they're kind of focusing on the fact that she's struggling. Yeah, and I think some high schools actually have remedial classes. So the fact that she's in kind of a regular class versus maybe a remedial class bothers me a little bit because she's looking at these math problems and can people please stop taking notes from Lydia because she's not taking notes. She's leaving clues. Lydia can't take notes no more.
She was on the board. She was writing on the board in a different, it wasn't an equation. I don't know why anybody didn't realize that because it was the same type of symbols that we saw in the notebook. And I'm like, I'm looking at her, I'm like, does nobody see this? Like, it was really quick on the board, but I saw, like, the little things, and I'm like, well, she's doing it again, so.
Yeah, like, didn't y'all realize when she kept on drawing the Nematon that she's not reliable as far as taking notes for class? So please do not get notes from her. Get it from someone else.
Yeah, Lydia's weird. I mean, she ended up in that house. Like,
I felt bad for her. I mean, she's still trying to learn how to be a Banshee. And she was with, Officer Parrish. I love Officer Parrish. He's cute.
Yeah, he seems like a really good guy.
Yeah, and I'm like worried for him every episode. I'm like, please don't kill Officer Parrish. Please don't kill him. Please. Jeff, please.
So, like, Scott and Kira sitting in the tree. K-I-S-S-I-N-G.
Well, you know what makes it so bad? They actually did kiss, like, late in last season. Like, unfortunately, it was right before, or at least a few episodes before Allison died, but they still kissed. So I guess they didn't really have a first kiss because, I guess, of the circumstances. But Scott took it. I'm glad that he, like, took charge, so to speak, and he didn't. Oh my gosh, it was really awkward at first, and I'm glad that he, turned around and was like, I'm taking it.
Yeah, I did. I like how he kind of corrected that. Well, I thought it was funny the first time when he kissed her goodbye and he went into to his classroom and then he realized what he did and he's like, oh.
Yeah, and Styles is like, he's not really giving good advice.
Styles doesn't seem like the type that can give you, like, sound advice on that without being funny, so.
Well, yeah, and he has his own, relationship with Malia, and I thought that it was interesting how she was like, I highlight stuff in red because it's stuff that I don't understand, and he looks at the board, and he's, connecting the dots using red, string, and I guess he felt touched by that, and it's like, now I want to make out versus studying, which was the opposite of what they were trying to do earlier. I thought that was cute.
Yeah, it was. It was cute. The little relationships were cute in this, and I don't know. I mean, I want to know more about this. Like, so the doctor that we saw is the father or the stepfather of the new kid.
Yeah, and we actually have a doctor on the show. Hopefully he lasts long. I'm just saying.
And did you, like, notice, was there some sort of, like, weird tension between Derek and,
Brayden?
Yes.
Can I ship them, please?
They seemed didn't they seem kind of like, I don't know. I felt like something was there. Maybe I'm looking too much.
I'm hoping there's something there. Now, Jeff Davis did mention that Derek will have a new love interest. That's someone that's not cray-cray. So maybe it's Brayden. Like, if they haven't, like, already introduced her, yeah, I hope it's Brayden.
Yeah, I felt like, I don't know.
There's a little flirting going on, just a little bit.
And she
had a little extra sway when she walked out, that's for sure.
You're funny. Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, I think this is going somewhere, but I hope I'm not wrong because they would make a cute couple, I think. When I was watching it, I was like, oh, that's yay.
I want Derek to be happy.
I just want to know why Peter had, like, that many million bonds. Like, I just don't
yeah, they like not just robbed, they got robbed. Like, you couldn't have at least had half there maybe, and then the other half someplace else. Like,
and he doesn't want to work.
Safe. I don't know.
He doesn't want a job. He don't want to work. He wants
so you put all your eggs in one basket and wind up getting robbed.
So what was this kid, man, and his whole family apparently?
Wendiv Go-Go or something? Because I think the Japanese mob boss was something similar, and I was like, wait, that's something similar. I can't quite put my finger on it. But that was so unexpected. Like, I was not expecting that. Like, maybe a werewolf, if anything else, but not that. I mean, he was like, I gotta eat. What?
Yeah, so so I'm assuming that his whole family was like that. That's why they found all those body bags in their
Uh-huh.
house. And
And,
so
and oh yeah, sorry.
so I'm assuming that the thing that was killing them was more like I don't know, like I don't know, goes
Like an
after. Well, he
assassin?
doesn't go over. He doesn't go after supernatural creatures because he left Scott alone. But like, you know,
For right now, that doesn't mean he's not gonna go after him.
well, you know who's going to go after Scott now? Those
Uh,
people in Mexico, those hunters. Because what did she
Yeah,
tell him? What did she tell him before he left?
don't bite an innocent. But come on now, it was the circumstances. The poor boy was gonna fall off and be dead. Like
Yeah.
he
Well,
was struggling to fight off this crazy Wendigo, Bogo, whatever it's called, and Liam was hanging by a thread, and unfortunately, biting him, I guess, didn't really solve much, but at least it had him hold on just a little bit longer. I, does she have to know? Who's gonna tell
I'm
her?
sure she will. I'm sure she'll find out. And I wonder if he's going to get the chance to explain because if he doesn't, then
She's
that's
probably
going to
not
suck.
gonna,
She doesn't
it,
care. I actually
yeah, she
cares.
doesn't care. Yeah, it is unfortunate. But I do. It does make sense now why, at least on some of the articles that I've read, that they're going to mentor Liam, and in a way they could have already be mentoring Liam in just a lacrosse alone, although he is good without having wolf powers. Like with wolf powers, he is going to be what?
Well, yeah, and Styles is going to be way jealous because he was jealous before. And I'm sure his leg or whatever it is going to heal up right away.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, considering, unfortunately, if Liam wasn't at the hospital, I mean, the reason why Liam was in the hospital was because of Scott, because he was aggressive on the lacrosse field. If Scott wasn't as aggressive, Liam wouldn't have gotten hurt. He wouldn't have been at the hospital where that situation could have occurred.
yep, and Scott's going to be torn up about it because
Mhm.
he wouldn't want to put that on anybody. So he's going to be like all kinds of, oh my God, what have we done? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and this is
Scott.
going to take another like dynamic to like either him being a leader or just him taking responsibility of actually turning someone, because he wasn't going to turn anyone if he could help it. Unfortunately, it happened, so now he has to deal with that while trying to win fights. Can Scott please win a fight?
Yeah,
Is that just asking for too much?
yeah.
It is.
I'm sure he'll get there. It's like a process, I think. But I'm assuming that Liam is going to change and he's not going to die. Um,
Yeah, I know.
So that should be interesting. And so
It's,
Derek's eyes are a different color now.
yeah, and Pete's like, what's happened to you? What's up with your eyes? Like, now it makes it, because Derek's like, I want to find out why my eyes have changed or why I'm like this. I'm slightly different. I don't know how to explain it. It is all Kate's fault. And Kate was mysteriously absent from this episode, but a lot of stuff was happening anyway. And it was just nice just to see lacrosse in general, because that was really heavy, like in season 1 and season 2. And now Kira apparently is showing some lacrosse skills, which hopefully will prevent them from moving, because that was in discussion. And I was really worried. I'm like, what? Why? Don't move.
They put her in the opening. They're not moving. They wouldn't have put
Really?
her in the opening.
Well, I know, but just the fact that it was even up for discussion, like, and her mom and the parents did say that their arrangements were temporary, but at the same time, why can't you just settle in Beacon Hills, other than people getting killed all the time? But that's neither here nor there. I mean, it's still a nice place to live, even though, weird things happen.
Yeah.
Like weird stuff is happening now. And what's up with that muted dude? He is super creepy. And apparently he's like some kind of computer, because in the beginning he was typing and the voice, I guess, was projected from whatever he was typing. I'm like, he can type that fast? And he had like this little tube, and what was, in his brain or whatnot is coming out like in all kinds of code, the same code that Lydia's writing now, mind you. So is he the benefactor? And I'm definitely concerned that he's definitely going to go after Scott and the rest of them because they're supernatural. And he saw him bite an innocent, so he could be after him just as much as the Lady Hunter.
I don't know. I don't know if he's after either one of them.
Well, there is going to be a list that was revealed in the previews of this season, so everybody's going to be on the list, or every supernatural anyway. So that's going to be a huge concern, and I think he's part of it. I think he's the benefactor.
That's a good theory. We'll find out, I guess, in a couple episodes, whether you're right or not. Well, guys, we're going to wrap up, but another reminder, we are going to move to a podcast form on SoundCloud. So we are going to, I think we'll probably do, one more of these before going purely digital. So we just want to remind you guys that it's going to be sound on SoundCloud. We will put the link in the comments when we upload this, just so you guys know. We might do little excerpts here and there, still on YouTube, but yeah, the majority of the TV talks are going to be on SoundCloud, so you guys can listen while you're at the gym or, I don't know, working, or it's going to be a little bit easier for you than streaming video. So we hope you like that, guys. But let's tell everybody where they can reach us. Go ahead and go first.
You can find me at WillCat12. I also live tweet as their element a lot of the TV shows like True Blood, Fallen Skies, and Teen Wolf, and hopefully eventually Legend of Korra. I didn't really do it at the premiere, but I'm hoping to do it this Friday.
Remember?
Yeah. And tweeting stuff about San Diego. Oh my God! It's coming, Kev. It's coming.
Yep, and you can find me at anime23. I do kind of live tweet Falling Skies. We'll see us go back and forth. Sometimes I live tweet at The Nerd Element, and you can find us at www.thenerdelement.com. Then on across all social medias at The Nerd Element, so Instagram, Pinterest, Tumblr, it's all The Nerd Element, Facebook. So I don't know, let us know what you guys think. Either comment here, send us an email at thenerdelement@gmail.com. Let us know what you guys want us to talk about on TV Talk, and we'll go ahead and put it in the show. Or tweet us, since we're always
and thank you to everyone that's been we're having conversations with when we're live tweeting the shows. I know Keymesh Blog, I tweeted at them a few times during the Teen Wolf episode. For True Blood, a little bit, several other people, Black Girl Nerds, I think India, a few other people, and Falling Skies, Brandon T. Long, the Falling Skies podcast, and again, shout out to Doug Jones and Fo Wahoo, aka Anthony. So there you go.
All right, guys, we will see you next week.
Bye.